I've got DJD and Farmer
Howdy.
Hey, what's going on?
sitting there in the back. In the booth, we've got Craig, and in the audience, we have Piccinini. Caitlin is here. I think Caitlin popped in because
Hey.
I have a confession. Turns out World of Warcraft has 3.5 billion and one players because man, it's almost a problem. It's almost a problem for me right now.
That's why Johnny hasn't played with us, David, like at all. It's like he's lost in the world of Warcraft.
Man, I'm just going through the Mists of Pandaria expansion, which I know is old content, but I've never done it. And I'm doing dungeons. I'm playing on a gnome priest, and I hit level 70, which is it's like the soft max, right? The max is 80, but you have to have the newest expansion, which I don't. So 70 is like the soft max. And I followed a little, skill tree thing suggestion for like the kind of priest I am. Bro, I've got heals for days. It's just a fun time. Just a fun time. Like healing in dungeons and stuff. And I'm already leveling a second character. It's great.
Is that like your whole thing with like Destiny where you're like invulnerable, with your guardian, he's like you pretty much couldn't get damaged at one point until they changed it. But so now you're doing the heals for days, so basically the same thing where you can't
originally die. I made a healer character because I made this character with David and Carly back in the day, and I think they both made like DPS type characters, so I made a healer character. And I just didn't want to delete him and start over, right? When I came back. Fair. I was like, well, he's already like level 12, like I might as well just keep the guy. But I love little characters in games, like gnomes, dwarves, like whoever is the smallest dude, I'm about him, right? So like making a gnome healer is great. That being said, not tanky at all. It's not like my dude is. I really one of the problems I have is remembering to stay far enough away that I'm not just getting wrecked, because dude, I get wrecked pretty hard. But like, so little complaint here. So I'm playing a holy priest, and I don't have a res that you can do in combat. I have like this huge group res I can do, and then I have these other reses, but I don't have a combat res. What's up with like the main healing class not having a combat res? I don't know. I don't get it, man. But I'm making a goblin priest. So I used to be a horde player. Now I'm an alliance player because of the gnome. And now they have goblins, other little dudes on the horde side. First off, ugly. Very ugly. Don't love that. So now I'm playing through on that guy. I just hit level 18. I literally just logged out. Johnny, why are you talking about World of Warcraft? I literally just logged out. But what's up with you guys? How have you been? How was last week?
It was good. Lots of Halo news. That was kind of crazy. It was kind of perfect, honestly.
That Halo news dropped the day after we recorded last week.
Yeah.
Like, man, that was annoying. We
were literally just saying too, like, I wonder what's going to happen with Halo. It's kind of weird we haven't heard, and then boom, yeah.
Personally, the rebranding to Halo Studios I think is cool. I am excited that they're moving to Unreal. I mean, I'm a little bummed because I kind of liked the engine, but you guys talked about this, but like, I think their reasoning makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely. What I really wish in an ideal world, I wish that Xbox would like assign a team to build an engine for their studios to use, and then just like do that like under wraps or whatever. And then like if any other studios wanted to lend expertise or like use that engine, like then they could. But that's like a 10-year project, and they need a dedicated team for it. They can't like split their Halo team and try to do it at the same time, Right. So yeah. Well,
and so that means there's going to be like a new Halo flagship game coming out, I'm assuming, on the series consoles.
So allegedly, Project Tachanka is going to be the next Halo game.
Project
allegedly.
What?
Project Tachanka, which
Oh
was
my
a
God.
rumored game made by
Chanka.
Certain Affinity with some collaboration with 343. Well, now Halo Studios.
Mhm.
And the rumor was that turned into a battle royale at some point. I don't
Uh-huh.
know how true that still is, or whether even that's true. But like the rumor, like supposedly that's one of the games for sure in development for the change over to Unreal.
Well, and
Hmm.
they also said that it's not just one game. You know, they've got
Right.
multiple games in the
They've
work,
got
which is
multiple games
pretty
in progress.
exciting.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Halo
excited
Wars
to see
3,
it
baby.
expand. Well, yeah, but something even new. You know, some new narrative on the outside of the storyline that ties in, but also is its own thing would be really cool.
A Halo StarCraft, like, like merging of universes. That would be insane. But they could do it now.
Wouldn't it be funny if they're like, oh yeah, guys, we got new games, and it's like, guess what? Halo 3 remastered, baby. Yeah.
Halo
so-
1, 2, 3, all redone.
Yeah, like one of the things that we've discussed before is like Halo CE remake, like the rumors about that. And I was kind of
Halo
like, why
Halo
would they do that?
CE remake.
But also, like, I mean, like with this new engine and stuff, I could totally see it. Like, I really could. After seeing like the visuals of like their like testing of the Unreal and how that looks for their Halo artists to use it. Like, I mean,
And
yeah.
and with it being on a different engine, how it functions differently, maybe they do want to try to, soft reset a little bit. I don't. I hope they don't. But if they do it right, I guess I'd be down with it. But if they start messing with some of the lore that as we know it, that
I
would
almost
really
wonder-
bother me.
So we know that the studio doing Gears, the Coalition, is doing a new Gears like remake of the first game or something like that, or some kind of prequel.
Yeah, it's like a
some
prequel,
kind of weird
but
thing.
almost like
Yeah.
a soft reset at the same
Right.
time as well.
Like I wonder if Halo Studios is going to do the same. Like I wonder if this is Xbox trying to like kind of like reset and go from there, and like not necessarily, hopefully not change canon too much, but like just reintroduce the foundation of their flagships.
It could be because it's been
Yeah.
20 years for
Right.
just about both of those games, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of new people out there that are trying to market too.
There's a whole generation that's never played like any Xbox titles that they might be trying to like reach at this point.
Good.
I mean, but they know them from Fortnite,
That's
so
true.
like, do they need
Yeah.
to remake the games?
All they need to do is marketing and say, "Hey, play the game from Fortnite."
Yeah.
we made the game we made the people from Fortnite into a game.
True.
Right?
True.
That's the marketing scheme right now.
How is Cortana not like a playable character in Fortnite? You know what I mean? Just
That's a good
Master
question,
Chief.
actually. I feel like she should be. Yeah. Or at least like
Cortana
there should
or
be
Sergeant
some
Johnson?
Cortana like thing. Like, yeah.
Oh man, Arbiter. I want to see the Arbiter.
Man, I hope that we get to like play as elites again at some point. I'm sure we will at some point, but like I hope I'm not 60 by the time it happens.
Yeah, elites.
I'm not
play as
sure
some
about that.
brutes. I play as a grunt. Let's go.
As
Sure.
brute. So we just talked about how I love like being a little character. If they made grunts,
That's with all the
all.
good lines.
That would be pretty
uh,
cool. Like
all I
Yeah.
would be.
that would be so cool if actually like the next like what if there's like a Halo MMO or something, or like a Halo like RPG where you like get to
Yeah.
like choose your own character and your own race and stuff. Like the universe is big enough to sustain that, I think.
mhm.
You know? I mean, yeah.
And you could just hear these stories in the background about all these things that are happening in the
You
universe.
choose to be a grunt. You're just like living your life, and Master Chief just murders everyone in your village.
Everybody in your tribe.
This is a bit of a spoiler, but Nier Automata, the second playthrough, you start off playing as like one of the robots, and then like you get killed.
As far as Halo on Unreal, I'm kind of pumped for it, but I don't.
I think
at the
it'll
same
look
time,
great. I think it
trying
will.
to keep my expectations low, right?
Sure,
That's
yeah.
what's going to make it even better. So if you can have low expectations on it, it'll do fine.
Well,
Yep,
and-
that's always the trick.
Man, like Infinite, I feel like was a really good story. Not maybe the best, but really good. I enjoyed it a lot.
I mean, coming
And-
from 5, it's actually really good.
Right. And graphically and everything, I feel like that game was great. The biggest problem was like the no co-op, I feel like, in terms of the campaign itself.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I
at
mean,
launch.
Yeah. Like, and even now with the way that they implemented co-op, I think that was just lazy, right? But yeah, and no DLC because like there's a lot of questions there. And what I don't like that these Xbox studios are doing lately, and kind of frustrates me, is like they have these really compelling like stories that are pretty good, and then they leave off at cliffhangers, and then we just don't know what's coming next. And then the next announcement is, oh, we're doing something else. And it's like, come on.
yeah.
Like, what the heck? You know?
Yeah,
Like,
what
well,
is-
you got to wait an extra 2 more years now,
Yeah, at
Yeah.
least. Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least.
No, that's very true.
was
Honestly, I feel like Infinite had, like, it may be controversial, but as far as Halo games, Infinite had one of the better stories, in my opinion. At
I would
least
agree.
of like your engagement of, or for me, of trying to figure out what happened. Right? It felt very
Yeah.
much like ODST, right? In that way of like, you don't remember what happened and you have to go back and put together all the clues. I actually really liked that. I thought it was really great.
And I mean, coming off 5, I thought that it was a wonderful
Oh
change.
yeah. I mean they
like
they did the best they could do with what 5 set them up for. Like
I honestly, I think that might be one of the best retcon kind of like rewriting of like stories that I've seen in a video game. Like in terms of like trying to correct like a mistake or like a direction that they decided not to pursue or whatever happened with 5. Like I
They
mean,
probably,
I think that was
hired-
actually really good.
They probably hired some Fast and Furious writers. They were like, "Hey, hey, y'all are the kings of retconning. How can we fix this?" And
well,
they're
and like we've seen it
honestly,
go so badly
isn't
with
that
movies,
how
right?
Halo 5
So-
though did it? I think Fast and Furious writers were part of Halo 5, and that's what happened there.
No,
They-
because
they
I mean,
had to get some
maybe-
real writers. They had to get some real
Yeah.
writers back in
no,
the
Fast
room.
and Furious is all about like it turns out someone was there
Mm.
and we just never showed them on camera. But they were in the room, right? Like that's how they do it. They're like, "Oh man," and then they like pan slightly over, and Jason Momoa was in the corner. You know,
But
And you're like,
honestly-
"Oh
whole
man,
time.
he was
It
there
works,
the whole
though.
time."
It works. It works right up until they like leave off at like a ridiculous cliffhanger, and then you have to wait like 3 years for the next
What-
like film. Like,
Whatever
I mean, like,
happened to
yeah.
Roland, the AI on, God, what was the ship even called now? I don't even remember. What was the big ship called
The
in Halo
Infinity.
5? Was it the Infinity?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. Then why wasn't it? Oh my God, I don't even. Yeah, and what happened? The big ship got destroyed. The big
Well,
bad ship.
we really don't know a lot of what happened to most of the people on that ship or whatever. Or
You
most
actually
of the
have to read the books.
Man, like I feel like there was so much
I love
potential
that.
for DLC for Halo.
You know who
Infinite.
did that?
I feel
you
like
know who
there
did
was.
that first? Who did it was freaking Destiny. Freaking
I
Bungie.
know,
Is they're like,
God.
they,
they're like-
they pulled a Destiny number on that one.
you
for
know,
sure. And I was like,
you know what
frustrating.
you guys? Hey, you love to learn lore in our video game. How about you buy a book and read that, you
Yeah.
nerd? And it's just like, but I don't want to do that.
Or read it for
Mm.
free or whatever, but like but not here, not in game. You have to go
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
like our website.
Not here
or
at all.
whatever, or-
Like-
yeah,
It kind of disengages you from the whole
it
playing.
does. Yeah.
You know who did that? Who did a good job? Did you guys? I mean, I know David did, but Farm, did you ever watch the TV show Heroes?
No, I don't think I ever did.
So Heroes, what they would do was they would have an episode every week, right? Because this is back in like the days of, doing that on TV. And during the week, they would release comics. So if you wanted Heroes content, you could go to their website and you could actually read the comics during the week. And the
That's
comic
smart.
line,
That is very smart. Marketing.
the comic line was like adjacent to the main story of Heroes. So there would be like kind of side characters introduced in the story, right? That they don't pursue. And the comics would often explore their stories and just build out the world. And it was great. I actually really like
that's really cool way of doing something. I
right?
mean, honestly,
to be like, oh,
a better way.
you want more of this? You can have more of it. right? And then you're excited for the next thing. But that's
Well,
not
it's
what
also it gives it for like, okay, the people who really care and want to dig in, great, you can go and do it here. But for the people who just want to watch it for what it is, they don't have to. So you can all enjoy the film for what it is, the show, and then if you want additional content, you can also go get it. I think that makes sense outside of the opposite way of doing that, where you like really don't have answers. That frustrates me. When they never answer these questions.
Same. Where they're like, I don't have time to explain why I don't have time.
Hey,
like,
she's like so cool though. All the Bray stuff in Destiny is so cool. I love it.
How long did it take for that to pay off though? That was Destiny
forever.
1.
Yeah, like literally like 9 years. Yeah.
Like that was Destiny 1 that happened. And then like, but going back to, so we talked about, how I'm addicted to World of Warcraft. The writing in it is not bad. I'm actually kind of surprised. The other MMO I had been playing was Elder Scrolls Online, which the writing in it is bad. And even like the little side quests, I'm surprised at how decent it is. I'm pretty into it. I'm enjoying it. You gotta join WoW. I know you have so much time.
Wow.
You have so much time in your schedule.
Yeah. All I can say is wow.
You play WoW, you
really
play Elite Dangerous, I mean, yeah.
I'm getting a headache right now just thinking about this.
I got it on my Steam Deck. It's not on Steam, but I finagled a way to play it on my Steam Deck, and it's great. You should totally do it.
Johnny, since we're, visual bit time, what's the whole thing about the pasta thing you got there in the back?
What pasta thing? Oh, that's a little framed board for Chiho, and really what you're just buying is the frame. But in Japan, they often, like for this, like that's just a weird picture. It's nothing. Like she's gonna turn it into, like, she has like a face painting board over here where she has pictures of the different things that she can do. She's gonna turn it into that. Also, visual bit time. My son's here. He was here earlier, like waving around and stuff. We are gonna go shopping after this, after the podcast. Because for those of you who don't have children, you should know you spend a lot of money on clothes. Because kids, they freaking, they either grow out of their clothes or they wear them out, because like kids' clothes aren't super strong and hardy because they know that they're just going to grow out of them. Yep, no, we don't need to buy you shoes.
They throw them together and then they wear them out because they're on their knees all the time. And then they go through all their shoe sizes like so quickly.
Like nothing. And you're like, I feel like I have a pair of shoes that I bought when I moved here 10 years ago.
Right.
That they're still great, right? Like, and granted, those aren't my daily wearers, but I still have them, right? Like, and man, it's like, didn't we just buy you shoes? We just went to the store. So hold on. I got my list here. Check this out. We got to buy, and I was like asking my wife, I'm like, what's the budget? Because man, like kids' clothes, we have to buy at least one pair of pants, 2 to 3 shirts, maybe a hoodie, maybe a jacket. I'm pretty good on clothes, so I'm probably not going to buy any clothes unless something really calls to me. Like this shirt I'm wearing right now. I have this Final Fantasy VI shirt on.
Oh, nice.
I never wear this because it's white, and I have 2 children under 2 at the house. So, like, even if I'm fine, they're grubby little hands, right? They'll touch you and leave like a butter handprint on you or something.
The oil mark.
Yeah, so I knew I was going to be out all day today, so I was like, I'm going to be brave and wear this beautifully perfect white shirt.
Nice.
We'll see how long it lasts.
So I just got a shirt. Isabel made me a shirt that has Tennessee on it, kind of after the song I wrote, and it has my name and so kind of like towards my music branding. Anyways, so she gave it to me, and literally the first day that I wear it, I got this oil mark on it, and it's not white by any means, but still, it's like, are you kidding me? How? But it's because I was eating while I was driving, and there you go.
There you go. You know what? That's me too. Like, I can't eat and have any, like, I just take my shirt off half the time now if I'm at home, not like at a restaurant. That would be funny though. Like, I'm at like a nice sit down place, and I like take my shirt off, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready. Let's go.
But
You know,
also, like, I feel like that's like that needs to happen with everything you buy, where you just need to like mess it up a little bit, just to like get over that whole like anxiety about like messing it up or not.
Yeah, breaking
You
it
know?
in a little bit.
Like,
yeah. It's
yeah.
it's like anything new. Yeah, you got to make a scratch or like a dent or something in it to make it yours, right? You got to break it in somehow. But
Like, don't total your car, but maybe hit a little sidewalk or something. You know,
it's
I
like,
mean,
maybe-
like,
David,
you
as he
know?
as he pulls his car out of the driveway, just buying it, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna hit that guardrail, just scrape it
Yeah,
up just a
yeah.
little bit.
There's
because
a fire hydrant I can just kind of like raise past. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yeah,
why have anxiety when I can just get it over with right now?
Right. I'm thinking he's like sees like an elementary school kid on a bike, and he's like, perfect,
No.
perfect.
Uh,
This is the only white shirt I own. So far, it's still white. So far, so good.
Actually, I need to get a jacket for an AvCon this December because I'm
I remember what I was
unhappy
gonna
with
say.
my current jackets.
And it'll be cold. Farmer, so what
Yeah.
is this? You wrote a new song?
yeah, I did. Yeah,
What's it? What's it about?
I've actually written several lately, but the newest one, one is, I think I performed it actually yesterday. Technically, it's called the Autumn
about an
Boogie.
AvCon.
Autumn Boogie
Oh.
Woogie. The Autumn Boogie Woogie. Yeah. So no, it's about autumn time, and doing the Autumn Boogie Woogie with you. You know.
Is it a
That's-
is
that's
it
how-
a
that's
is
how it
it a
goes.
song that you can dance to?
Well, we don't have a dance for it yet, but yeah, it's definitely it's like a swing style dance.
Are you gonna make a
song.
TikTok? Are you gonna make a TikTok challenge and
Maybe.
do the Autumn Boogie Woogie, and that's how you're gonna blow up, right? That's how that works
No,
nowadays.
that would be crazy.
is
Yeah,
you
for
do a
that
TikTok
song.
dance, you do a
Yeah.
TikTok dance, and then everybody does it. You know,
Yeah.
D, you'll support, right? You'll do the Autumn Boogie Woogie on TikTok, right? I know you're on there.
my
I
God.
have not used TikTok in a while because I stand by my principles. Okay, and we talked so much trash about TikTok that I immediately like stopped using it.
I actually
have not.
I re-downloaded TikTok because it was recommended to me to post my so I've been also playing Tiny Glade, right? And it was
Mhm.
recommended to me to post my Tiny Glade content onto TikTok because there people are like, oh, people will like it there. And I just want to point out that so far it's really been nothing, and it's a huge waste of my time.
I'm getting
So-
followers on TikTok, and I feel kind of bad for them. I kind of want to tell them, like, "Hey, don't follow me here. I'm never gonna be back. I'm sorry."
I'm never.
If you're expecting content here,
Kind of like
you're not gonna
like
get any.
the mass amount of people like allegedly leaving Twitter because of like the block functionality went away this week.
Oh, what? Why did they get rid of that? Do you have to pay
So
for
you
it?
can still block people, but they can still see your stuff. They just can't interact with it.
Well, what's
So,
wrong with
like-
that? Okay. Question: is that bad?
Yes, that's
That
bad.
they can still see it, but they just can't interact with it?
Yeah, because like the whole point of blocking someone is denying them like access to your content,
Yeah,
right? Like, I mean, yeah.
if you have somebody who's like really creepy, you don't want them to see anything about you. You know.
And I mean, like,
I mean,
sure, they can log on to an alt or like, you know, just log out or whatever. I don't even think that you can really see too much of someone's like profile without logging in now. I think I could be wrong on that. But like, yeah, they could use an alt or something, but like that still requires extra effort from them, as opposed to like just like serving up your content to everyone that you've like currently blocked. So I mean, like, it's just really annoying, and I could see how people who get harassed a lot are not okay with that. I could see that.
Well, bottom line, they're trying to push that that blue check mark over there.
Well, and
at Twitter.
that's my biggest thing is like it's all about engagement, right? It's
Mhm.
all about like, you know, oh hey, like now every post will have like that many more like eyes on it or whatever. But my guess would also be that potentially maybe like Elon just didn't like that he was blocked by some people, and so like he decided to
that and everybody else.
because
you know?
I mean I feel like like those personal interactions of his like kind of explain every single change he's made recently. But I mean,
Yeah. I mean, it's his personal,
It's his website,
social
right?
media.
I mean, he did buy it. You know,
yeah, he
I mean,
bought it. It's
yeah.
like, yeah, I'm gonna use this thing. I'm gonna use this thing. Well, bots have been just like terrible, not just there, but everywhere. Too.
Yeah, but
And
especially
so,
there. And I really dislike
there.
I really dislike the way that Twitter, sometimes known by Johnny as X.
I was gonna say, what's that? What?
Yeah, it's like, what's Twitter? Like, he didn't correct you what's the deal tonight? He's just off of it.
It felt really weird to mention Twitter, I think, last week and Johnny not be here because in
I
my
know,
head,
it's
I
like-
only corrected
But you know
He's-
what though? When
He
you
was
did, when you
gone, so he's
mentioned it,
kind of not used to, being in the groove. So.
when you said that, I actually was while I was editing, I even was like, "Is Farmer gonna be like, what's that? Is Farmer gonna cover for me?"
No, that's not my thing. That's definitely you.
Yeah,
Like,
you could be like,
Johnny will say it. Johnny will do it.
you could be like, "Oh man, hey, I know Johnny's not here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and throw in there that what? What's that?"
But like, so
honestly,
a
I
bunch of
just-
bots like
I want
do-
to leave it. on purpose.
there's actually a ton of like really kind of disturbing activity in terms of bots on Twitter. Like there are a bunch of new accounts that only spew political stuff, and then when you go back to their oldest post is no more than like a year old, but they've somehow tweeted like 3,000, 4,000 posts in that year, and it's like, that seems
Little
weird.
fishy.
And every single thing that they say is like super
fishy.
controversial, and it's like, that's weird. Like I mean, like I don't have any proof that they're not real people, but it is kind of weird that they like created an account within the last year and then just went off like that. Like
It's almost like somebody could be using these things as, a way of not tying it to them, but getting their point across without being, again, tying to their name, but actually using these bots to their advantage. I can see it. I can see
But
it.
like the other thing I don't like is like
David over
there's-
here is judging the Twitter power users, or the X power users. He's like,
I mean, maybe,
he's like,
maybe.
man, they've not even been here that long. Look at how much that they've been posting.
You guys didn't know we were going to be talking about conspiracy theories tonight. did you?
Yeah, I have a few in regards to Twitter, but I won't go into them here. But the other one that really annoys me is how Twitter was like, okay, we'll get rid of all these bots,
You mean
right?
X? You mean X?
And at the time, most of those bots were like doing adult content, like promos, right? Like, and a lot of it wasn't even like real adult content or whatever. And like, then Twitter like completely. You mean X? Yes, I do.
Okay.
Twitter backed off. Twitter backed off that and said, "Oh, we're now allowing adult content. They just need to be marked as such or whatever." It's like, okay, so you just decided that you can't get rid of the bots. And also, that was one of Musk's promises in terms of like why he wanted Twitter was like, "Oh yeah, there's a lot of bot behavior there. I want to get rid of it all." Yeah, that's not going so well. Not going anyway. Sorry. Don't mean to go off on a Twitter rant. I saved that for Twitter, but yeah.
So we have in the audience, Travis is saying he doesn't acknowledge the other Twitter name. The problem is that that's the name. That's the problem. The reason I keep bringing it up is because it's like, listen, just get off of it. Just get, people still be on it. People still call it Twitter. It's not Twitter anymore, guys. The old Twitter can't come to the phone anymore. because it's dead.
I mean,
right?
The URL still works. So until the URL goes away, until every single reference to Twitter has been erased, Twitter still exists.
Well, the URL just redirects to x.com.
Yeah.
It doesn't say Twitter.
Yeah, but that Twitter needs
that is
to
a
be
good
just
point. Travis is bringing
canned.
up Blue Sky. I've been seeing Blue Sky's been growing.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Have you checked out Blue Sky, Farmer?
I have not.
Farmer, have you tried?
I'm not over on Blue Sky.
I'm not over on Blue Sky either.
I've tried
not
Threads
either.
a little bit, but Threads has just been okay for me. I mean, nothing that's right. Nothing to write home about, honestly.
Same. Honestly, it's a lot like what was formerly called Twitter in the sense that it's not fun and not nice to use.
I
heard
enjoy
Twitter's not
Threads
worse,
quite
though.
a bit, but I don't know. My feed is super curated, and I don't talk about political stuff on Threads, so that's probably why I love it. Pretty much,
I
like,
just created
my
my
feed is
account
like
the other day, but
my feed is
know.
great. Right up until like I get into like a lonely arc or something, and then like then I get a bunch of like posts in my feed going, I'm single, I'm so lonely, and it's like, no, wait, no, I don't want this in my feed. I don't need this.
So do you
My,
mark it? Do you mark it as you're not interested in that kind of content, or do you not interact with it?
I just don't interact with it. I just like interact with the stuff I like, and usually my feed like ends up like normalizing after a while. But what I hate about algorithms, and we've talked about algorithms to death, is like, I mean, like, I hate how you can't just like naturally see like the people that you follow, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like unless you actually go to like the following tab or whatever.
or you actually go
oh,
to their personal
yeah.
page, you know.
Yeah, and
and
even
look at what
then,
they're
it'll
doing.
still show you like kind of in an algorithmic fashion, like the people that you follow.
It
So,
doesn't
I mean,
show
like,
you like, yeah, no. So this is an interesting thing. I was talking with Chiho about this because Chiho wasn't really into social media very much before she started doing art stuff, right? And I was like, you know what sounds crazy is there was a time on like Facebook or like Instagram pre TikTok that you could like finish your social media, right? Like, because it would show you like the latest posts from everybody in that order, and you could just scroll, and you would eventually get to where the last time you were on was. So if you were on social media every day, so like for example, you're on Instagram and you go to sleep and you wake up, and you could usually relatively easily from 9 a.m. scroll back to the last thing you saw 12 hours ago at 9 p.m.
Yeah,
right?
because it wasn't showing you ads. It wasn't showing you anybody else's feed. You were actually
just the
getting
people
only
you
your
follow.
friends, the people
Right,
that
just the
you
people you follow.
cared to.
and
Right.
like in
Well, and
like
any celebrities that you
sequential
followed, right?
order too.
In sequential
right?
order,
Like,
you would
that's-
just see it, and
Yeah.
then you would be like, all right, I've caught up, and you would
Right.
get off the app, right?
Mhm.
You would put it
Yeah.
away and be like, all right, I caught up, no big deal. I specifically remember doing this is funny, on Twitter way back in the day,
Yep,
right? That's
yep.
what I would do.
Yep,
I would
yep,
scroll back
remember that
and then be done. And it's just interesting how, like, they want you to stay on and be doom scrolling as much as possible so you can, consume as many ads as possible and such. And like just how that's not a thing anymore. You have to really be like, I'm done, because it will just keep showing you stuff. So like, do you guys know Van on Twitch?
And to kind of go
I
further
know
with
who
what
you're
you're
talking
saying
about,
there,
yeah.
Johnny, to kind of go further with what you're saying, you not only do you have to continue to scroll, but if you want to find things that you're interested about, you either have to search or you have to go to somebody's page specifically. If not,
Right.
you'll never ever find it. So
True.
annoying.
Well, and so like Van, who I know from Twitch, has yes, what is it? Kalili Van. I don't know how to say the first part, but she does Tiny Glade content, and since I've started posting Tiny Glade stuff, I'm getting her stuff on my feed, and I'm super excited about it, right? Like liking it, commenting on it. But then I'm also seeing like she posted this like 4 days ago, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. 4 days ago, 5 days ago, and I'm all like, oh my god, this is so great. And of course, like engagement's fine and such, but it's one of those things of like, I would have loved to have seen this,
Day one.
My problem though
Golly.
too is like, so I'll see something from 4 days ago that'll have like a question or whatever, like or some kind of statement or something, and I'll engage with that, and then there'll be like a post like more recently that'll pop up later down in my feed that'll be like completely like nullifying the whole reason that I engaged with that earlier post from 4 days ago, and it's just that's frustrating to me. It's like I see somebody like on a trip or something, and I'm like, hope you have a good flight. And then like, then I'll see a post like from like 1 hour ago, and it'll be like, oh, that was the worst trip ever. Oh, I'm like, shoot.
Like, whoa, sorry about that. Delete the comment quick. Maybe they won't see it.
Yeah. It's just dumb that like you can be like that out of time when the whole point of social media theoretically was connection. I mean, now it's all monetized
and
stuff.
we
Well, now it's
basically
very
have
different.
we've gone backwards. We had a really good system, but they realized that people were actually, like Johnny was saying, getting off because they were catching up. It was perfect. why read anything more than you needed it to, right?
Well, it went from being a thing that we all shared with people we knew, right, and turning into like brands and celebrities getting on there, and it's like turned into just like content consumption, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's not
and
really any different
marketing.
than
It's really marketing
TV.
too.
And like
They
there's some
use it for marketing so much.
and there's some benefits to that, right? Like there's
Of
a
course.
ton of discoverability that didn't
Of
exist
course.
before that like you might have never ever like been able to tap into. But I don't think that the cons are necessarily worth that. At least
Well, it's
at least
interesting-
in the case of like certain social medias. Like specifically Twitter, also known as X. Like I mean like and the
I
worst
feel
thing,
like so. Hold on, we're not saying that right. It is X, formerly known as Twitter. It's not Twitter, also known as X, right? That company's not there anymore. Like no, but here's another example. Right? Like, do we still talk about like what is it? Northwest Airlines? No, Delta bought it and absorbed it. It's now
Like
Delta.
who knows that, Johnny?
Who knows that? Don't you guys remember Northwest Airlines? Don't you guys? Do you? I mean, I used to fly on it when I was a kid, so that's the easy
No,
one to remember.
Southwest.
What's
The problem
another
is
airline that
that
merged?
in a
What about
bunch of-
what about U.S. Airways and American Airlines? They merged into American.
I wasn't much into paying attention to the companies in flights.
What about
Yes.
Rite Aid?
I mean they still
Which
exist.
was yeah, but the stores that were bought by Walgreens no longer exist.
I mean we only bought
They're
half-
Walgreens now.
right
Walgreens
yeah
now.
well half of them are there's like
Right,
still
the
like
ones that
Rite Aid
were-
still has
right,
like,
the ones that
half
were
their
bought.
stores.
Twitter
Yeah.
was bought and is now X. It's not
Well,
Twitter, also known as
except
X.
it's not
X,
though like
formerly
in a bunch
known
of,
as Twitter.
in a bunch of their legal documentation and a bunch of their company paperwork they still have Twitter and the probably part of the reason for that is like firing all the people who normally would have gone through and changed all that like I mean yeah
It is X, formerly known as Twitter.
and
Until
also
they've
everybody
scrubbed the
says
name,
Twitter.
you know? I mean,
also
like,
known as
Everybody
X.
says Twitter still and says tweet.
It's
I
not-
heard somebody
it's
the
not
other
my
day say
fault.
I tweeted. You know, I'm like,
It's
what?
not my fault that everyone is wrong. It's not my
Yeah,
fault
that's
that
true.
everyone is referring to the wrong thing. You know, that's
including
not
the
my fault. I'm just
company
bringing it up.
itself. I think the
Yeah, that's not
CEO
my
of
fault.
Twitter just referred to it as Twitter the other day.
Johnny,
CEO
if you're
Twitter
making a
was that.
post, if you're making a post, what do you call it? If it's not tweeting, what is it? It's Xing.
It's making a post on X.
It's
we've
literally
discussed this.
posting.
No,
It's
I know
that-
we
it's
have,
that
but
stupid.
I just wanted
Yeah.
to bring
It's
it
that
back up.
bad.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
I just
Yeah.
Xed. I just
It's
Xed.
posting.
It's
Like it
posting
is
on X.
everywhere
It's
else.
pretty terrible.
Just so
It's a
freaking
pretty-
stupid. But yeah,
And I'm not defending the move. I'm just
yeah.
listen. Like we need to bring it up because it's dumb.
Yeah, die on that hill. Die on that hill.
Yeah.
Go.
No, it's not dying on the hill. It's that like it is dumb. It's objectively worse. So like I want to use the objectively worse thing just to remind everybody. No, it's not that anymore. It's way worse now.
Yeah,
It's not tweeting anymore. It's posting on X. It's not Twitter
Yeah.
anymore. It's X. It's no longer Twitter Blue. It's this weird.
X Premium.
Yeah.
X Premium, and then it's
Like-
also it's X Premium Plus is the next step up.
Oh my
Which I
God.
don't know. Like,
Can you get any more generic? Like it's just bad. It's just like you know. It's incredible to see like an iconic company just lose it. You know, just
just like destroyed. Yeah,
just gone. And you know, I'm not
rumors
gonna say I
are
called
like
it, but I
financially
called it.
they're doing
I
really
called
badly.
it 10 years ago. You know that it was over. And you know, am I a prophet? Maybe. Maybe. I'm not saying I said this exactly, but I did say Twitter was going to be done and was dead.
Man,
You know,
speaking of, this is the perfect like convalescence, right? Because somebody tweeted back when it was Twitter in 2019 at Phil Spencer, why not just call 343 Halo Studios?
oh, weird.
Now that actually has come to pass.
Was 343 formed by Microsoft to make Halo, or was it a game company before that? I actually don't know.
it was
Does anyone
formed
know?
by
formed.
Microsoft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was formed, and I'm curious why they went with 343. Really, when it comes down to it, because everything about Guilty Spark, you know, wasn't good.
Right.
you know, you think about the Monitor, and he ended up dying, and I mean, is that they 343 is dead. So
343 Guilty Spark was the most annoying dude. Also, man, I did not like that guy. I guess I should go back and replay
the library,
Halos.
though.
Yeah, I should go back
good
and
times,
do that.
man.
Or just wait like 7 to 8 years until like the Xbox Halo CE remake happens, and then
Halo CE remake.
Yeah.
The Halo remake.
Well, the other one was a
reaching
remaster,
with that
right?
studio name there, Travis.
True.
That's a little bit of a reach there.
The problem is, Reach was definitely Bungie, right? Like, there's no question of that. Like,
yeah, it really was.
I'm so curious, like, whether we'll ever see like Bungie bounce back.
No, they're done.
Pun intended.
They're done.
Bounce back. That's not bad. That's not bad.
I just feel like they're too deep. They're in too deep now, But who knows? Maybe their next game is going to be super successful, and they'll get a bunch of their autonomy back. Ooh, I like this. They chose their destiny when they left Halo. I like that, Travis.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, they had all that propaganda about Destiny in Halo, especially in like ODST and stuff like that.
Did they? What?
Yeah, writing on the wall. Yeah, you didn't know about that?
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
There's a lot of different things. Like, well, the main poster was Destiny is I think it was Destiny's coming or something like that. It was something like that. It was Mother Earth basically, and then there was like this moon shape.
Interesting.
And it was their little way of throwing an Easter egg for Destiny. And now 343 went back in and swapped it actually and changed the words on it now. So if you go back and play that in ODST, it actually says for her or something like that.
Huh.
But it used to say something different. Yep.
Well, 343 had a lot of chances to make a good Halo game, and they did eventually. I really liked Halo Infinite, but
yeah,
I'm happy with a bunch of changes and all of that.
Yeah. I'm excited for them, like we talked about last week, really delving into just the developing. Now that they've got, Unreal, they can actually hopefully just focus and not only get one really good game, but several different games that are cohesive and work together.
Did you guys ever play Unreal Tournament on the Xbox, on the original Xbox?
A
it
little
was
bit.
like this game that I think was really just showing off the Unreal Engine way back in the day.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember playing it with Rob. Do you remember Rob, D?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Rob was really into that game. Unreal Tournament and Unreal Tournament 2. And I always think of those games. Let's see, it was an arena shooter game. Oh man, it came out in 2004. Oof. Literally 20 years
2004.
ago. Jeez.
I saw
Early
something that
2000s,
made me,
man, I tell you.
that made me
What do you
think
guys
of Unreal,
call-
and I can't recall what it was.
What do you guys call that decade? From 2000 to 2010. There's the 90s, the 80s, right? The 20 teens. What do you guys call 2000 to 2010? Because I heard someone call it the aughts.
No,
Yeah, there we
That's
go. Look,
interesting.
Travis just wrote that in. The aughts.
No, I would never call it
I
that.
don't like that.
I would call it the 2000s. That I would
Yeah.
I'd be pretty vanilla with it and just go the 2000s.
The zeros.
2000. The 10.
The zeros. I like that. Aughts. It's okay. So it's spelled with an A, AUGHT. It is the digit 0, apparently. Aught means 0.
So
Huh.
why don't we call it what everybody was calling it back, 1999, right before the turn. and
Y2K?
Yeah, the Y2K, baby. The Y,
Oh man.
the
Yeah.
year. Oh man. Everybody was freaking out like what's big's gonna happen? It's just gonna, like, computers, they're just gonna flip the number. It's not a big deal. Everybody's
Yeah.
like, oh, the stock market, we can't handle it.
Well, I was really young at that point. I was only 7 years old. It turned out fine.
Yep. We're
Turned
still here.
out fine.
We're still here.
Yep, here we are, 24 years later, and you know, I was gonna try and find something bad, but honestly, I'm pretty happy. Like with yeah, certain things in the world aren't so great, but like I was gonna say we still don't have flying cars, but who cares, right?
Yeah, that was supposed to happen like in the
Who
10s.
even cares that we don't
2010s.
have flying cars? Like, to be honest, I don't want flying cars in my life. That's like the last thing I want. If someone's gonna crash their flying car into like the roof of the house I'm renting, you know what I mean? Like, or do you guys when you watch Star Wars?
After the whole thing with Elon Musk, showing those robots, I'm thinking flying cars is next, right?
Well, when you watch Star Wars, right, in Coruscant, they have like sky streets, right? So you just see the lines of like the flying of the speeders going, and that seems so stupid, right? Because they have the whole sky, and all of them are flying in these lines, but that's what it would have to be. Right,
well, and exactly
have to be some kind of order for sure.
People were talking about how crazy it is that like certain like during like relief efforts for emergencies, how some sky is like off limits to like civilian traffic or whatever. It's like because otherwise people are gonna like run into each other. Like I mean, like when you're talking about like putting a bunch of like air vehicles in like a space that they normally aren't. Like there's a lot of danger and a lot of coordination that needs to go into that, especially when you don't have like air traffic powers like actually orchestrating that.
Yeah, when you get civilians up in the air, like the military's had that open space for so long. You throw civilians up there, man, it's going to be a riot. Right. It's going to be crazy.
Seeing how a lot of these people drive, I'm not excited at the idea of how they would fly. Could you imagine?
Yeah,
like Travis would be like, East Coast flyers are the worst. Man, those East Coast flyers.
Man, those Chicago pilots are like really, really aggressive. Jeez.
but that being said, I want to say one. So I know that like, how am I going to say this? So Elon Musk, doesn't accomplish anything himself at SpaceX, but SpaceX has done some cool stuff recently with like catching the rocket, right? Or like grabbing the rocket and stuff. I recently got to watch one of the launches where they brought more Starlink satellites up. I watched it with Johnny. It was super cool. Like as a kid, for me, I wanted to be an astronaut, and seeing SpaceX do really well with their launches and all of this stuff, like I'm super nerding out and super happy about it. Right. But, then also Elon Musk stops, blocking on Twitter because people are mean to him.
Or bribes people with $1 million check to vote for his candidate, his preferred candidate.
Listen, Mr. Musk, if you're listening,
no,
I will happily take
illegal.
$1 million
That's illegal.
to vote for whoever you want.
No.
I'll do it.
No.
I'll do it.
Don't do it.
Okay, I'm just saying, if you're listening, you can reach out to me on Twitter. It's DIJADI.
What's that?
No, that's what he was.
We were just talking about. It's not called that
honestly,
anymore.
Do it. Do it. Elon Musk, reach out to twitter.com/DIJADI. I would love the chance to refuse you. I would love it.
No, don't refuse him. Don't refuse him. Think of how much we could do with that.
I would love to turn down $1 million for my principles. I would love to be able to like have the opportunity to do that.
It's like
that'd be fantastic.
Bam, and David's gonna have something on his wall that's like, I did this on this day.
Can that be the episode title? Turning down $1 million on principle.
Yeah.
Yeah, turning down $1 million on principle. Well, on that note, let's wrap up, guys. This was episode 1 of season 5. We did it.
Well,
yeah.
Let's go. What is something that you would not do for $1 million? That's not like like ridiculous. Like that's not like inappropriate for a nap.
I feel like it makes me sound awful to be like, I can't think of anything that someone would be like, hey Johnny, I'm gonna give you $1 million if you do this. Like I don't know, like you were pretty not like something that we can't talk about in a nav. So I guess like killing people is not on this list and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I mean, we can flip this. What are you willing to do for way less than $1 million that you go to work for every day? You know, like there was a comedian talking about Leonardo DiCaprio and how he got that Oscar for The Revenant. And people were like, wow, like the acting was so good. And like, you know, he lost all of this weight for it and stuff. And the comedian was like, you know, if you're impressed by that, you are really underestimating what I would do for $40 million. He's like, you mean Leonardo DiCaprio kind of worked for 9 months for $40 million? Like, okay, cool. You know, yeah, like for $1 million, dude, yeah, I'll do a lot. Do a lot. You know,
I do a lot for a lot
less than $1 million.
But the argument there could be like essentially that Leonardo DiCaprio has worked his way up to like, you know, being worth the $40 million or whatever too. You know, like if it was some extra off the street, they probably wouldn't pay him $40 million just to like starve himself or whatever.
True.
Yeah, there is that. There's also this other thing that I mean I would do.
But the extra off the street would take someone over 25. Right.
I don't know how much work I do just volunteering, you know, especially lately. So yeah, I mean,
yeah, for $1 million, dude, freaking yeah. What do you want? I just drove 4 hours and painted last week. I was gone last week, and we didn't actually paint. We were staining my friend's cabin, and I did that all day for free. So you know, definitely be willing to at least work. I'm not saying I would kill David for $1 million,
but push two. We'll talk about.
Yeah, but you know, kill him in what? I've killed him in Rainbow Six Siege when he was trying to get an achievement that he was really pumped about. You remember that, Farm?
Oh man,
I
don't remember that.
Remember we were trying to do like what was it, like the hardest terrorist hunt, and we just kept failing, and then we only had like a few dudes left.
Yeah,
and we shot David and killed him, and then we ended up losing. We ended up dying. We didn't end up getting it. That's right. And we were so close to getting that achievement. And David got so mad he actually left.
I did get actually.
David never leaves,
because we had that this time in the bag. He did. We had. I almost never rage quit, but oh my gosh, like ooh,
it was like see that's something that I feel like I've accomplished something in that night if I have actually done something like that. The other night I was playing with Tuna, and I literally made him really frustrated. And actually, some people were asking, like, were you guys having like this little fight? I'm like, no, I just got under his skin just a little bit, and I was like, yeah, that's how you troll, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what you do is you get David within reach of a really hard achievement, and then you just shoot him in the back. When he's trusting you, you just shoot him in the back.
We had that though too. We were nailing it. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's just a game, David. It's just a game. We'll do it again. And it took us a while after that.
It took us a long time to get back to that point. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying I regret it, but you know.
We get him just enough, and we pull out the rug from under him.
Just like, gotcha.
I feel like I need to make an acolyte board of all these times that I've pushed people just close enough to the edge, you know, because I have in the back of my head is like, okay, there was that time in Monster Hunter, that was one of them.
Oh yeah, I got really mad. Didn't want to.
Man, I was really frustrated too, actually, during that Monster Hunter run. Yeah.
Yep, I got pretty mad.
I think I was frustrated mainly because Johnny was frustrated. Like, I think I'm like, you're doing this with Johnny here, and he's trying to take it seriously. Like, really? Come on, man. You already know how this is gonna go. Like,
I know,
bro. It's not that bad, except you gotta chase that stupid monster. Like, we just get there, and then you shoot it, and he runs to the other side of the map, and you gotta chase him down. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And playing it coy was probably not even any better. But I was like, hey, what's this do?
Also, I am excited for Monster Hunter Wilds. I am pretty excited about it.
Yes, Travis, I will be the unlockable character in the Reach remake 10 years from now. That will be me. you can clip this and like bookmark it, and
Yeah.
that'll happen.
Halo
Halo Reach
Reach
anniversary.
Halo Reach
remastered.
Anniversary, the remake.
Yeah, the remake. No,
Yeah.
no more remasters. If they're gonna do something, might as well remake it. You know.
Ooh, next year is the 15th anniversary of Halo Reach.
I wonder if they'll do anything for that. Probably some skins in Infinite Store. Probably. Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, let's go ahead and wrap up. Season 5, Episode 1. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all the things. You guys have any... I was going to say, do you have any last words? That's not right. Do you have any closing comments?
The Xbox
Okay, no, bye.
thing was
Get out of here, Craig.